It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, today we're going to jump in that gigantic, sharp, interactive board. I want to share my thoughts on the big breaking news. I'm sure by now all the industry's media analysts have copied and pasted the press releases. Some of those analysts are probably getting compliments on social media for their ability to copy and paste a press release. I think that's kind of amazing. I actually saw that. I kind of laughed. But ladies and gentlemen, Kyocera and Xerox coming together. This is a big deal. You know, I mean, well, folks, when you're the largest dealer in the world, you got OEMs that are going to recognize that. And when you're an OEM that has, well, innovative, groundbreaking technology, as we know Kyocera has with that Task Alpha 15,000C inkjet production machine, that thing's getting a lot of headway. A lot of people are talking about it. It's definitely getting momentum in the marketplace. So you're a manufacturer. You got a product that has a proven track record. You know what you want to do? You want to get that thing out on the market as fast as you can and get as many units as you can. Good way to do that is go to the largest dealer in the world. So again, congratulations to both Kyocera and Xerox. We're going to jump on the Sharp Interactive board. I want to share my thoughts on this. This will be a two-part episode. After I'm through talking about Kyocera and Xerox coming together with the Task Alpha, I'm going to talk about their financials for the second quarter, and that will be on Tuesday. Tuesday's episode will be Xerox's financials. But Xerox, I got to suggest something to you. Don't use a number for the name of the machine. I came up with a name for you. I'm giving that to you free of charge. It says Xerox Pro Jet C. That's what I think you should call it. I mean, I'm thinking you could get a really good artist and they could come in there and do some red, you know, kind of a swishy, you know, pinstriping, something like that, and make it look really cool. That does look kind of cool, doesn't it? Anyway, Xerox, the numbers are getting ridiculous. I mean, we're up to the thousands. Just call it the Xerox Pro Jet C. Folks, let's jump on the board. I want to share some more thoughts about this. When a manufacturer creates a home run product, the next thing to do is create home run distribution system. By aligning with the largest dealer in the world, both Xerox and Kyocera hit home runs. I really believe this. You know, when Xerox bought Lexmark, their footprint got a whole lot bigger. I mean, they are a global player and they're the largest dealer in the world. And they use direct operations and dealer operations, but Xerox delivering products that print to end users, supplying them and servicing them, is the largest footprint in the world. It's undeniable. And I want to read something that was part of the press release. By combining Kyocera's proven inkjet technology with Xerox global reach, client trust, and workflow automations, we are delivering truly unique solutions for production printers who demand reliability and return on their investment. And this was said by the general manager of corporate marketing division at Kyocera Document Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the OEMs are thinking a lot different. And today, in our ever-changing industry with disruption and all the things that are going on, the OEMs have to think differently. They have to open their minds to what could be. Because once you understand what something could be, well, then you set out on a path to make sure it happens. Okay? That's the reality. But you don't base these decisions in delusion. You don't base these decisions in over-optimisticism. You base these decisions in reality. Kyocera is a well-disciplined company. There is no doubt about it. You know, Xerox going through so many changes as they reinvent themselves. A 100-year-old business reinventing itself. And I've said it many times. It's not, you can't just turn a damn light switch on like so many people hope they could. It's a painful process going through a reinvention. But Xerox, their asset is their ability to distribute equipment to end users all over the world, supplying services. When you think about some of the things they've done to realign their business with realities in their reinvention, some of those things have been pretty tough, no doubt about it. But when you think about Xerox and you think about some of these other folks out there in the production print space, I want you to think about the things I'm saying here. Having a disciplined marketplace intellect will always bring profit. Those that understand the marketplace they're in, they have an operational maturity level, which is a Paul Dipple term, and he came up with that in the IT space. Like, what are these IT providers, you know, operational maturity level? And he had a ranking from 1 to 5. And being a 5, hardly anybody ever got. But you sure as hell don't want to be a 1 or a 2. You want to be a 3 and a 4, right? You want to have a market intelligence. You want to understand the marketplace. Having an undisciplined approach to the marketplace will lead to disaster. We see a lot of that in the production print space. We see some of our OEM friends out there. I mean, come on, folks, giving stuff away. I just heard where you got one big giant dealer out there that's going to do color on A3 MFPs at like 0.035 to the end user. Oh, that's exciting. Let's just give away all our money, right? I mean, it's like, what in the hell? Undisciplined players do undisciplined things, and when you're undisciplined, disaster happens. But I don't care if you like Xerox, love them. It doesn't really matter what your thinking is about Xerox. They are the most disciplined production print sales force in the world. There is no doubt about that. Their partners and their direct operations. Xerox is the most disciplined production print sales force in the world. Have they made some decisions that made some people in the production print space mad? Well, hell yeah, they did, because they're going through a reinvention. They got to realign themselves. You know, it's amazing to me that our industry has so much patience in some things and then very little patience in other things. And the things our industry has patience in are nutty. I mean, right? You know, they don't want to, bring in the right human capital. Let's put that off. They procrastinate so much crap. But yet, when they got a major player in the marketplace that's been their partner forever, that's going through a massive reinvention because they're recognizing that they have to do something different, everybody's running out of patience. I would ask all my Xerox dealer friends this: what are you doing to reinvent your company? How much pain are you going through? Well, if you're not going through any pain, then you're probably not going in the right direction, because everybody in our industry should be going through some pain right now. Those of you that are sitting by and just, maybe you watch my show, oh, Ray's just crazy, there's nothing wrong with our industry, it's the greatest industry in the world, and run around and give all kinds of platitudes to each other for no reason at all, you're nuts. Because the industry's definitely going through some modifications. Both Xerox and Kyocera are realigning their businesses. I just looked at Kyocera's financials. I'll do an episode on them next week, the week after. All the OEMs now are publishing their financials. But folks, I'll tell you, Kyocera is looking at their whole entire portfolio. They're looking at business units they have, and, is this better to divest ourselves of this and focus on what makes sense for us? And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Kyocera's print business, when you look at it, is the most important business component they have as a corporation, as a conglomerate, especially in that profitability sector. So Kyocera has to be thinking, okay, we got this print business. It's hugely profitable for us, because it is for them. They do a great job with profitability. What could we do to capitalize on that? Well, Kyocera, I'm going to tell you what you could do to capitalize on that. Quit being so damn conservative. It's number one thing, and I've been telling all my OEM friends this. Get out there and start getting excited about stuff and shaking things up. I'm super excited that you got together with Xerox with your Inkjet production machine, but you got to do more. And I think they could do more. I think Kyocera and Xerox could really shake some shit up, if you know what I mean. And folks, I've been talking about this a little bit, but I want to dig into it a little bit more. But when John Bruno presented at that BTA meeting, this was one of his slides, and he showed the TAM on the different buckets of our industry. We had mono printers and color printers, mono A4 MFPs and color MFPs, and the TAM for those products was $31.6 billion. And then we had A3 MFPs, both mono and color, and production print mono and color, and those TAMs together were $21 billion. When you looked at the production TAM, both mono and color, it's $5.6 billion. So it's the smallest bucket, if you will. So if you're going to go into that smallest bucket, reinvent yourself, and change the game, what do you want to do? Well, you want to go into that bucket with something that nobody else is doing, or very few are. And we all know, folks, that Inkjet is a small part of the production bucket at this point. But I believe it's going to be the whole bucket at one point. I believe all production machines are going to be Inkjet based. And folks, I remember when I started that A4 revolution, people thought I was crazy. Oh no, it'll never happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. I think all those consultants that told me that would never happen should apologize to me publicly. Just kidding. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going. We are literally going to Inkjet. And we're getting a lot more momentum in Inkjet. We know that Inkjet in the industrial space is exploding. The only reason it's not exploding in the production space is because there's way too many laser-focused people and they're focused on laser. But our friends at Kyocera aren't. You know, our friends at Kyocera aren't. So what could Xerox and Kyocera do? Well, they could form the next consolidated manufacturing. And folks, someone do something. I mean, it just drives me out of my mind to think that Ricoh, you know, basically can barely produce any operating profit consistently year after year, is the one that came out with Etra when they got together with Toshiba Tech, and Oki joined in, and I think others will join in that one. But Kyocera, why don't you start the next one with Xerox? You know, Xerox bought Lexmark, and one of my things about that was I just hope Xerox doesn't try to become some manufacturer. I mean, this would be nuts. They don't need to be a damn manufacturer. They need to distribute products to the end user. Services support those products. Let other people make them. I think this could be the start of a wonderful relationship. I mean, Xerox, couldn't you leverage this Lexmark manufacturing thing with our friends over there at Kyocera? I mean, Kyocera makes great A4 products. Take the Lexmark technology with the Kyocera technology. What could they do? Could they get closer to bringing Inkjet technology to the business community? Because that's really would be awesome. And then they have your footprint to deliver it as well as their own. Ooh, that could be exciting. And then I think, well, who else could join that? Well, I think Rizzo could join it. I think Rizzo has a great inkjet product. I think it complements the Kyocera inkjet product. I think there's places where the Rizzo is a home damn run. There's places where the Kyocera is a home damn run. But that Rizzo technology, I believe, could be modified and could bring inkjet to businesses, to business print. I really do. I believe it could happen. And I think it could happen a lot quicker and easier if Rizzo was in a club, if you will, a joint venture, if you will, with folks like Xerox and Kyocera. We need to change the game, and the OEMs have got to stop being so damn conservative and go out there and be bold. The one thing that I hope Kyocera can really pick up from our friends over there at Xerox is their boldness. Because you can't deny that Xerox isn't bold. They have been very bold. They've been so bold, they've upset the marketplace. Well, that's what boldness does. It upsets the hell out of status quo. I mean, what I think is kind of funny about our industry, though, really, is that we have players in the industry that'll always agree that status quo sucks. You know, that sucks. We don't want to be status quo. Yeah, change is forever. We got to change. And then you see Xerox out there being so bold, making all these changes. Everybody's all critical. You know, well, what are they doing? Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're the only one out there up front of this. You know, they have to explain to Wall Street every quarter what the hell they're doing, and they do a really good job at that, right? And again, you can't just flip on a light switch. But boy, I tell you what, man, when I think about some of these other OEMs in the marketplace and the disastrous financials they have continuously, there's nobody even talks about it. Because I guess in Japan it's a little bit different than Wall Street. But ladies and gentlemen, I have been saying for a long time I wish Xerox could get the hell off of Wall Street, go private, do all the reinvention behind the curtain, and I guess the exit strategy after they go private would be to go public again with the reinvented Xerox. Because Xerox will reinvent themselves, there's no doubt about it. And through that process, there's going to be many, many changes. I just believe it'd be a whole lot easier to do it outside of Wall Street scrutiny. Speaking of Wall Street scrutiny, I will go through Xerox's second quarter numbers. That'll be Tuesday's episode. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck there. And again, congratulations to both Kyocera and Xerox.